Greetings, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to look at post-COVID challenges. Maishu, arigatou gozaimasu, and welcome back to the 11th year of the Leadership Japan series. And I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and three-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. My new book, Stop Wasting Money on Training in Japanese, is Training de Okane o Muru ni suru no wa yamimashou. And all of my books are available on Amazon. This podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan. Trust me, it is different here. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentation Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oishia Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcasto Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is "Shichaku shite mo ii desu ka? Shichaku shite mo ii desu ka?" May I try it on? Say you're going to the boutique and you want to see if it fits. You want to try something on. This is how you ask. You say, "Shichaku shite mo ii desu ka? Shichaku shite mo ii desu ka? Shichaku shite mo ii desu ka? Can I like this shirt. Can I try it on? Shichaku de mo shite mo ii desu ka? Shichaku shite mo ii desu ka? Shichaku shite mo ii desu ka?" This is episode number 522. Today we're talking about post-COVID leadership challenges. Many of our clients have told us that COVID and especially remote working situations revealed a lot about the leadership frailty of their organizations. When everyone was in the office, the inability of middle-level leaders to lead was effectively masked. However, once the big homeward-bound migration took place, sizable gaps suddenly became apparent. These gaps are around the communication of the firm's strategy, direction, the alignment of the team, and getting things done. Each of these aspects had to be updated in a rapidly changing COVID environment, where in the early phases, there were no vaccines and people were dying in droves. The latest COVID variants are highly contagious but less lethal. The government has moved COVID down the scale to be equivalent with the flu. Current numbers are about 70% of firms are back in the office in Japan, so there's now a more complex hybrid challenge to deal with. Communication becomes more difficult when some staff are meeting colleagues in person and others are at home not joining those spontaneous water cooler conversations. This creates a two-tier workforce of those in the know and those who suffer FOMO, the fear of missing out. The boss's job is to make sure the coordination of the work and communication across the firm are working. This has become more difficult, and so new tools are required. More frequent all-hands meetings create opportunities to get key messages out to everyone simultaneously. Mid-level managers then need to drive that messaging further. We all know a message once told melts very quickly and people don't recollect it for long. The forgetting curve is vicious. We forget half of what we are told in an hour, 70% in a day and 90% in a week. No wonder we have to keep hammering important content to make sure everyone hears it and understands it. Simple things like the chore or morning team meeting become more complex. These were a standard tool for coordinating within the team and for messaging to the team from their supervisors. If they're being held in the office again, then those at home cannot attend. If it is held online, with those at home and those in the office all online, then what is the point of having people get together in the office? We can easily find ourselves getting the worst of both worlds if we are not careful. Email and different apps become important tools of communication, which allow people to access the information at their pace. Getting key details written creates a permanent record which can be referred to, easily shared and stored. Verbal instructions and information sharing are effervescent, however, and don't linger long. Email becomes a bit of a pain because we're inundated with tsunamis of email into our inbox, and we can quickly become overwhelmed. The balance between the spoken and written word needs calm consideration to ascertain which communication vehicles are now needed, work best, and also how the whole messaging strategy should hang together. Find out more when we come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also are doing custom in-house programs. We do these in both Japanese and English. We do them face-to-face in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. Today's show is being brought to you by our High Impact Presentations training on the 6th of July. Excellent program. This takes people who are nervous, lacking confidence, don't know how to structure things, don't know how to deliver properly, don't know how to use gestures properly, don't know how to use their voice properly, don't know how to use their body language properly, the whole, eye contact, the whole lot. They got no idea what they're doing. Or they're doing it with massive mistakes everywhere. Fixes all that. Fixes everything. There are 2 instructors, everything video, 2 days, massively intensive, works extremely well, turns everything around. You need to do this course. On the 13th of July, doing a Dale Carnegie course. Want to have better people skills? This is the course for you. Works on your communication, works on your leadership, works on your stress management as well, and also works on your flexibility. Depending what you need, this program is bound to have the solution. Hits a number of highs at the same time. Excellent program. Most common feedback I get from people who do this course is, this course changed my life. How about you? Is that what you'd like? Do the course. Go to our website at www.dale-carnegie, carnegie.co.jp. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, which in Japanese is Zaegyo. This is the Bible for selling in Japan. Japan Business Mastery, Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muru ni Sunu wa Yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. If you like learning by watching videos, we have nearly 2,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show on Japan every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from small, medium enterprises all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. Teamwork is like a muscle which atrophies when not exercised. Trying to build teamwork when everyone was at home was difficult, and probably for most firms, unsatisfying for the team members. Even though we may troop back into the office, the assumption shouldn't be made that we can just pick up the threads of where we were and everything will automatically fit back into place again. There are bound to be some people who've become isolated during COVID and have retreated into themselves over these last 3 years. Issues which may not have been apparent when everyone was mixing every day in the office may now require close observation and monitoring. We can physically bring them back to the office, but they remain isolated and avoid others, seeking seating arrangements where they can work alone, away from everyone. Mental health issues become a concern in these cases, and we need to gently and gradually retribalize some of the team. Many firms' CFOs are rethinking the layout of the office space to make it smaller, given there are rent savings to be had by outsourcing to the staff to have them pay for and provide their own working space at home. Others keeping the same amount of space but removing desks and creating more collaborative areas and also quiet spaces to cater for a variety of working style preferences. These are issues we never faced before when we had traditional office working arrangements, and naturally it all becomes an experiment to some extent. There is also a new question which is popping up in staff interviews. In the background are certain expectations, given there are more jobs going than candidates available to fill the positions. The potential new hires are asking, can I work from home? If the answer is no, then many are declining the opportunity to join. Having everyone back together after 3 years may instill some buzz. We may be getting better engagement back in the office, people laughing and chatting together again. Yet, this new higher demand for isolation defeats the purpose of regrouping. Are we going to trade off the teamwork we want to resuscitate against the recruitment requirement to source more resources? This is a tricky path we have to tread, and sadly, there are no simple answers for this one. The post-COVID world of work has changed. There is no reliable roadmap we can use, and it will probably take a couple of years before some conclusions can be drawn about which path is the best one. The keys will be greater flexibility and a willingness to host dual, possibly even contradicting systems simultaneously until there is greater clarity about how to best move forward. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then tell your family, friends and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. You can contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Until the next episode, take what you thought valuable, put it into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. So be one of them. Remember, I'm in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.